I'm Kalais Samuelson on the SPU varsity rowing team.
Kalais, we just finished the Falcon Regatta, some great racing, particularly in your Varsity 8 competition. You won one of them, the first one by 0.3 seconds over Humboldt, and then the second one, Humboldt won by that same 0.3 second margin. How did you feel about today's racing?
I felt really good. I'm so proud of all that we accomplished. We've been training so hard for this and just understanding what this means for the program, and I think we pushed ourselves to our limit on both races today.
Sure did. Knowing you have two races, is that in the back of your mind when you are at the start line for the first one, or what is your approach to that first race when you know you have two?
Yeah, I try to just focus on the first race and put everything else out of my mind so that I'm ready to go, and then after that first race is done, then it's time to think about the next one.
Take us into the mind of a rower at the start line. What are you thinking about? Are you trying to concentrate? What is your focus? What's going on right before the start?
Yeah, a lot of it is just thinking about how you're going to start, and focusing on all the things that you worked on during warm-up, making sure that you're explosive and getting ready to push through those 2,000 meters as best you can.
In that first race, it was a three-boat race. Western Washington third, and that's a team that beat you earlier in the season. Your thoughts on finishing ahead of the Vikings?
That was one of our main goals, was to get ahead of them, and I think that was at the forefront of our minds, so I'm really proud of all that we accomplished with that.
And then Humboldt, Cal Poly Humboldt, they are now, formerly Humboldt State, they finished second by essentially a bow ball. Do you have any idea as you're approaching the finish how close teams are to each other?
You know, you can hear the coxswains in the other seats, and you can kind of see out of your periphery, you know, the other rowers, but you know, it's all about keeping your head in the boat at that point and just rowing as best you can.
Now the timing is, there's no scoreboard flashing a time or anything. How long till you cross that finish line after 2,000 meters do you realize in that first race that you won it?
It wasn't really until we got onto land and our coach told us that we actually knew for sure, but you know, we had a pretty good feeling.
Great. Then you have a turnaround, you have to get ready again, not much time to celebrate that first one. What are you doing during that time between races?
Our coaches always tell us to stride rate, so stretch and hydrate, you know, do a little bit of a leg drain and focus up.
How difficult is it to race another really intense 2,000 meter race against an opponent that you just edged and produce a very similar time?
You know, it can be difficult, but it's that mentality of, okay, compartmentalize. We did the first race, and you know, we've been training for so long to be able to do two races back to back, so it's just all about compartmentalizing and doing the best you can.
This, you have next week a much-deserved break from racing. In 2 weeks you have the We Are Championships. 3 intense weeks in a row. You were in Oklahoma City against the top-ranked team. Last week you were in Florida against the best teams from the South. Today the best teams from the West. How are you feeling right now? And I guess, what do you, like, exhaustion-wise, relief, what's your big emotion?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of all that we've done. I think we've come a long way since the beginning of the season, improved our times, improved just the unity within our boats, and I think that's something to really look forward to in the next coming weeks.
Great. And lastly, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Beaverton, Oregon.
Great. And for those not familiar with Northwest geography, what is that close to that people may know, big city?
It's close to Portland. We're a Nike town, actually, so Nike headquarters.
That's what people know it for, yeah. Yes. How did you decide to come to Seattle Pacific?
I decided to come here for the psychology program, so I'm a developmental psychology major, and they just had so many good tracks, and I wanted a small environment to study in, and SPU is perfect.
Great. Psychology play a part at all? Is it helpful at all in rowing?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a mental game for sure.
Excellent. What do you see yourself doing in the future?
Yeah, I want to go into school psychology, probably with elementary students.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations on a great day of racing.
Thank you so much.